Yeah, we're next door to the house that exploded, Brad. This is actually a garage door. Believe it or not, this is from the neighbor's house that exploded. It's in shambles right now. This is really something I've never personally seen before in my life. This alone must have traveled at least 20 yards to land in the neighbor's yard. And for most of the day, we've actually spent it out here as investigators comb through the rubble that is just located feet from where we are. You got to check out this tent. Artist Heather Coble has made some pretty incredible work. Let's go ahead and walk inside and show off some of these things. This is all made from refurbished wood, and this details in this, you can almost hear some of these characters. Let's listen. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Yeah, definitely can hear some. Over here, moo. And then in the back corner, I have no idea what noise a zebra actually makes, folks. I'm sorry.
Ryan Hennessy joins us now from Brookside Avenue in Independence with the latest, and a vigil, we understand, happening right there behind you tonight. Ryan, help us piece together the timeline of all of this.
Yeah, incredibly emotional out here at this vigil. Preston Bell obviously was missing on Saturday and then found dead just yesterday. This vigil here, there's a balloon release. There's also family members, friends with candles out here. There's actually two of them right here. This is a cousin and a best friend. Heather, if you don't mind, tell me a little bit about how much Preston meant to you guys. It's really difficult to talk about, put the words.
He was literally like
he was her best friend. They hung out daily. They worked together. They did everything together. And Preston was just a ray of sunshine. He was a ray of light. He meant the world to all of our family and to all of his friends. He had a bright future ahead of him. He was going to welding school, and he had a lot of things he wanted to do in life. And it's just a shame that his life was taken too soon.
A lot of emotion out here. Anthony, you guys are talking about him. I see the pictures behind you holding him up. Kind of solidarity you guys have out here.
He was like brother to me. He didn't deserve this.
Yeah. Obviously a very hard time for you guys, but I really do appreciate you sharing some of that with us, and our condolences, please. Thank you guys. Now, obviously, this is a story that we're going to be staying on. We've reached out to the Independence Police Department for more information. Right now, they're still piecing together that investigation. They're asking for information that can help lead to an arrest, a conviction. We'll actually have a $25,000 award for that type of information. There is a GoFundMe that's currently available to donate to Preston, and that will actually help honor his legacy, also provide money for his funeral and memorial expenses. At last check, we saw about $860 in that GoFundMe. They have a goal of $2,000. We're going to have a link to that on our website. This is just a really hard-hit community out here. As you can see it on the looks of these faces, Heather especially, best friend. It's an emotional time. A 19-year-old being killed in this circumstance is something that's very hard for everybody to kind of deal with, but they're trying to find something, and obviously we're looking to more information from the police department on all that information. Report from Independence, Ryan Hennessy, KSTV5.
Ryan, you're right. You can feel the depth of the heartbreak out there. Thank you for bringing us that update.
The family was able to watch the video before the grand jury handed down an indictment for Emmanuel Hernandez. They are still grieving, having laid both brothers to rest, and they say they want stronger charges. We do need to warn you that the video you're about to see in the story is graphic.
Our family is fractured. This is our family. Anger, disappointment, disbelief, anger. Just anger. We angry.
The video starts with Hernandez's light-colored SUV and the brothers' dark SUV driving close together through city streets. The family believes the timeline starts too late and that an earlier incident is missing.
From what I understand, is the Granite apartment complexes. The video that we saw did not come from there.
Next, the video shows the brothers pulling into the gas station. Hernandez circles around to another entrance.
It's hard to see your family members walking in the video and moving when you know you just buried them.
A parking lot confrontation unfolds where Taylor Garrett strikes Hernandez multiple times. Then the fight stops and the brothers go inside. Hernandez waits about 3 minutes before also entering the store.
He followed them into the store. He continued to initiate and engage them in words. My cousin's back was turned to him in the store. He walked up behind him, said words to him, baited him to fight him again, immediately pulled out a gun and shot him.
We stopped the video before the shooting. The next moments show the brothers trying to leave. Hernandez fires as he follows. He then briefly backs away before then hitting Byron in the face with his gun.
This is premeditated murder. This is not a stand your ground case. He knew exactly what he was doing when he followed my cousins into that store.
Jackson County Prosecutor Melissa Johnson issued a statement saying, in part, the office believes the defendant went too far when he continued to use force after the second victim was down. That's why prosecutors charged voluntary manslaughter, not murder. Without clear evidence of a premeditated killing, without provocation, first-degree murder cannot be charged. I spoke to neighbors out here, and they tell me everything stems from this U-Haul. This moving truck was being used by a woman to get her things out of a home just down the street, and that's what led to police being called to this scene.
I look over, and this U-Haul van right here behind us is reversing, and as they're reversing, I'm hearing shots coming from that tan house.
A sheriff's deputy had intervened in what began as a domestic dispute, and that commotion brought neighbors out to see what was happening.
We were more or less just out here at the front trying to see what's going on.
After the initial shots were fired, Kansas City, Kansas police responded to the scene with a large presence, and that is when the suspect barricaded himself inside the home.
And then once the cops went to the front door, that's when those 15 shots went off.
Police continued negotiations and used tactics to coax the suspect outside of the home.
They were giving him an hour left to surrender and come outside. And I think he surrendered right before that hour was up.
The suspect was shot by KCK police and taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Neighbors were relieved the scene was finally contained, but were also heartbroken to learn a Wyandotte sheriff's deputy was shot.
Like, why shoot the cop? What was going through his head? And then it's terrible. It's hard to think about and talk about because that cop went in there just trying to do his job.
A local pro boxing champion that also trains Chiefs safeties is giving free training to kids in Kansas City that want to be the next contender.
We came up with this plan to have our own gym together and to help as many kids as possible, so we raised the money.
Boxing is a rigorous sport.
1, 2.
And that training has been useful for some Chiefs safeties.
Just to name a couple names, Brian Cook. I trained Steve Nelson before for the Chiefs. So I got Marcellus is the Chiefs chaplain, so I got a connection with them.
That connection through Marcellus Casey began back in 2018, and it has inspired some kids at the gym.
When they see these guys come in and get their workouts in, and they see these professional athletes that trust Coach Chris as well, and so it brings a lot of positivity and energy to the neighborhood for sure.
Crunch Time Boxing on Troost Avenue is proud to offer inner city youth a way to channel their character through boxing.
If you slack off in boxing, you're gonna get hurt. So I feel like it just instills a lot of discipline and teaches a lot of hard work, and that hard work will pay off if you put the work into it, and that applies to anything in life.
We got fights coming up. Let's go.
He's very encouraging and very critical. He knows when to criticize you, but also build you up at the same time, so it doesn't demoralize you or something like that.
Coach Thompson said he didn't have great mentorship when he was a kid.
Again.
And boxing helped teach him how to control his emotions.
My end goal here is to help as many kids as possible. I didn't have that growing up, but I just wanted to be able to chase my dreams and help the kids chase theirs.
For two staff members here at Raytown South, that estimated 15 minutes felt like an eternity. They took turns doing chest compressions, fighting to keep the student alive, each second spanning longer and longer as they waited for signs of a heartbeat.
Yeah, I was just praying that what we were doing was going to work and that he was going to be okay. It was really just kind of a scary situation at that moment.
Cardiac arrest in a student is rare. This incident in March marked only the second time in a decade that it's happened in the Raytown School District.
It was about 2:19, 1 minute before the final bell for the day. I ran upstairs to see what the emergency was. I found a student collapsed on the ground. got down, started an assessment.
That's when Officer DePaul arrived, ready to step in.
And she told me to get an AED, so I left the room and got the AED. We came back to the room as she had already started chest compressions.
As Nurse Rose focused on the AED, Officer DePaul took over chest compressions.
We were able to get it turned on. It said administer a shock.
Deliver shock now.
Continued CPR, and then he ended up coming to.
All happened in probably 15 minutes, and it felt like it was about 8 hours long.
Raytown is part of Project Adam, a partnership with Children's Mercy that trains school staff twice a year to handle cardiac emergencies. That training and teamwork made all the difference.
I was able to get the information that the AED reads while it's on a patient. I was able to get that to Children's Mercy, and Children's Mercy was able to effectively care for this kid based off of the information that we were able to get.
Children's Mercy says that sudden cardiac arrest happens in just 1 out of every 25 schools a year. Rare, but that's why being ready matters. Nurse Rose and Officer DePaul were ready, and a student is alive today because of it. Reporting from Raytown, Ryan Hennessy.